What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. Oh my God, Joel Embiid just showed how clutch he really is. And my God, he deserves a ton of love for that clutch shot. Before I hop into this video, I'm going to hype up the Sixers, of course. They deserve some love. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. I really appreciate it. It helps me out a ton. But Joel Embiid just got poetic justice for what he went through in that game 7 a few years ago when Kawhi hit that really clutch game-winning shot and all the pain Embiid went through. I feel like all of it just poured out in that last shot that he made. That was revenge at its finest. If you don't think that was revenge, you're not paying attention, because that meant, you could tell that just meant so much to Embiid. And honestly, I think that's awesome, because you want to see these players like passionate and feeling like they're like they just did something. They like when they're empowered. And I really love watching that kind of stuff. His reaction was great, because he's been through so much this season. And he's in the playoffs up 3-0, looks dominant, has been dominant the entire year, healthy. Like it's all coming together for him. And I really love that for him, because he's been through so much in his time in Philly. And honestly, those fans deserve it too. Hopefully they can continue. But I want to give more love, because it's not just Joel that is really working their tail off for this team. Tobias Harris tonight defensively was just amazing, stellar, like some of the best defensive jobs that I've ever seen on Pascal Siakam. Like, he did a great job. And then in the first couple games, he was really knocking it down, scoring, rebounding the ball, doing a lot of other things. But today, I think he had like 11 points and like 12 rebounds or something like that, which is still a pretty good stat line for like a third option or a fourth option, depending if Maxey's going or not. But he showed up, especially defensively, when that team really needed it, because they were in a dogfight in Toronto. Like that, you could tell that team was not going to go easy. And kudos to them, because this game was probably going to go to double overtime if it wasn't for Joel's heroics. You know, so I think Tobias deserves a lot of credit here. And I think something that's Harden too. We got to give him some credit, even though he fouled out. He had like 19 points, 6 rebounds, 10 assists. Did a pretty solid job. Was efficient shooting, which is always nice. He wasn't chucking a bunch, so that's always good. He's getting his shots within the rhythm of the offense, which always helps keeping other guys in flow. But I think something that is a little bit unnoticed here, and I want to talk about it, is going up 3-0 versus if they lose that game in double overtime and being up 2-1. It's a completely different complex that you have to go through there. Because when you go up 3-0, I don't know if anybody knows this, nobody's ever came back from down 3-0. Not to say that Toronto can't do it or anything, but like the odds are literally like 1 in 6 trillion. Like it's that unlikely to happen. But if you lose that game and you go up 2-1, now all Toronto got to do is just win another game at home, and it's a best of 3. So going up 3-0, I think, is very underrated in this, and I think that needs to get some shine, because it's hard to do, one, especially when you're in a 4-5 series matchup, and two, Toronto knows if we go down 3-0, we're probably screwed. So they're going balls to the wall. And, I give them a lot of credit, because they played really hard today, but Philly pulled it out. And that's the makings of a team that could possibly make a championship run, is the ones where you're going into a dogfight and the other team is playing as hard as they can, and you're able to pull out the W. I think that deserves a lot of credit. Doc Rivers, I'm not a fan of Doc Rivers as a coach, but I'm going to give him credit here. When Joel lost that ball with like 3 seconds left or whatever, and was at half court, and he used that timeout to at least get them a shot, good coaching decision. I love that. Didn't just let Joel chuck up a half court hook shot or anything like that. Good coaching. That helps you win championships. You need good coaching. The Joel Embiid for MVP crowd is going to be very loud, as they've been all year anyway, but they're going to get to another notch after seeing him knock down that game-winning 3 with basically no time left. Has had a great series for the most part. They're going to get very loud, and rightfully so, because there is a very strong, good argument you can make for Embiid to be MVP. I'm not going to get into that, because this is not an Embiid MVP video. I'm giving love to the playoffs and like how well this team's done through 3 games, because they dominated 2 and then pulled out a dogfight on the road. But there's going to be some more hype for his MVP chase, and obviously it's a regular season award, so this shouldn't factor in. But legends are made in the playoffs; they're not made in the regular season. And I think this is Joel Embiid's not his coming out party, but I'm putting my foot down. I'm that dude. And I love that, because it just shows that there are alphas in this league, and he is one of them. Now that leaves us with saying that they don't blow a 3-0 lead and become the first team ever to do that, which would be like catastrophic. Looks like they're probably going to play the Heat as long as the Heat can pull out beating the Hawks in the next few games or whatnot. Philly versus Heat, that's a really, really good series, but I still think Philly would probably have the two best players on the floor no matter what. Like, not to diss Jimmy or Bam, because those guys are all-star level players and they're elite, but Harden and Embiid are former MVPs and, MVP candidates. Those other guys are not quite on that tier. So you have the two best players on the floor. Miami might have like a little bit more depth and everything like that, but they can definitely be a series they can definitely win. I don't know who I pick yet. I haven't gone into like any research for it, but that series looks good on the surface because Bam's a great defender. Jimmy is an alpha. He does not quit easy. There's a lot to digest there. I think that series will be awesome. Hopefully we get it. And then, we'll see what happens in that series. But right now we got to get some love to Philly and Joel and Tobias and Harden and Maxey and Niang. And who else am I forgetting? Milton, Danny Green, Matisse, even though he's not playing in Toronto right now. They're playing really, really well. And I probably forgot somebody's name. And if I did, I'm sorry. I apologize. But, I'm off the top of my head right now. They all deserve some love, even Doc Rivers, because he's not playing DeAndre Jordan too. And I think that's a big deal because DeAndre Jordan is trash. Not to hate on a player or anything like that, but I'm a Laker fan. I watched that man for the first half of the season. It was bad. Joel Embiid, man, clutch shot, bro. Poetic justice. I love seeing something like that come full circle where you get your revenge in this arena where it happened to you. I feel like that should be a talking point tomorrow all over sports news, sports TV, sports radio. That should be what everybody's talking about. Or the Boston and Brooklyn game, because that game was insane too. But this one was, if not better. So yeah, Philly fans, let me know how you feel in the comments about that game, about your team's playoff hopes, Embiid and that clutch shot. Let me know how you're feeling, just anything. I'm all for it. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I really, really appreciate it. If you like this video, please like the video. I always appreciate that. Want to interact with me on Twitter? I live tweet games a lot. I give out my opinions on, halves, quarters, how players are playing, how things look for playoff series, whatnot. My Twitter will be like right about here somewhere, I'm assuming, like it has been on the past few videos. But yeah, man, shout out Joel Embiid. Shout out the Sixers because they're up 3-0 and they look like they're moving on to the next round. I'm done here. Peace.